All right, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's product training with Blue Triangle. Today we'll be discussing how to use Blue Triangle as a product manager. So, as I've mentioned before, performance is really a service when it comes to e-commerce. And to that end, managers thus take the responsibility of managing performance and ultimately how performance affects revenue for the business. So today we're going to dive into what tools and areas of Blue Triangle product managers are going to find most valuable to accomplish their daily tasks and goals. All right, so my name is Mark and I'm the support manager here at Blue Triangle, and I do these training sessions each week about web performance, analytics, and really how to solve problems using Blue Triangle. So let's go ahead and get started. For the agenda today, we're going to start off and talk about the impact of performance on revenue. So for product managers, we really want to understand how performance is affecting revenue. And the best place for this, and really one of the core value propositions of Blue Triangle, is our revenue opportunity. We're able to show you the correlation between speed and revenue, and we can break that down by page. And it's important to break it down by page because it's different for different pages. The home page may not always have as much opportunity to improve speed as maybe the cart page or the product detail page. So the revenue opportunity allows you to look at the pages that have the greatest amount of opportunity and prioritize your speed improvement projects accordingly. So that'll be the first thing we discuss. The next thing is we want to be able to monitor our key performance metrics in real time. So of course we're going to be looking at the dashboard, and I'll show you a few different dashboards. One is actually pre-configured for you right out of the box when you first log into Blue Triangle, and that gives you an idea of the performance and revenue and a geographical breakdown and device breakdown, and I'll show you that. I will also show you a few of the custom widgets that you can create on a custom dashboard that are going to be really useful, and I think for the product managers in the room are really going to like. And finally, we're going to talk about alerts and notifications. So whether it's an outage or degradation, we want to be notified of these things, especially when they're affecting revenue. So I'll show you how to set up some of these alerts manually for any particular use cases that you're interested in. And I'll also go over our anomaly detection. So we have machine learning software that's constantly monitoring your site data and detecting anomalies. And when it sees one, it's going to bubble it up to in your list of top issues. So you'll be able to see, what's going on that you may not be immediately aware of. And it's able to prioritize those by impact and other things. So I'll cover that toward the end. And finally, we'll do a bit of Q&A at the end. If there's anything I can help explain a little better, or if there's anything that maybe you thought I was going to cover but I didn't actually get to, just let me know down in the chat and just send in a question, and I'll be happy to answer those at the end. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the portal now. So as always, we're looking at our demo e-commerce global site. This is just our demo data that we use for these trainings. And right now we're on the revenue opportunity page. This is under the business analytics module. It's the top one in the list there. And what we're looking at here is the revenue and opportunity over the last 30 days. So right now we're looking at all devices. As this card here is selected, here we can see the the total revenue opportunity broken out by device as well as the actual sales. And moving down the page, we can see how much opportunity there is based on if we were to load the page 1, 2, or 3 seconds faster over the past 30 days. So I'm going to just go ahead and choose desktop here, and it's showing that we have a $4.8 million opportunity over the last 30 days. Now when I choose desktop, we're able to break this down, break it out by page. So now when we look at the revenue opportunity by page, we're able to see it looks like the PDP page has the most opportunity in terms of revenue if we were to speed it up. And over here you can kind of get the same depiction of this in a pie chart. Moving down the page, we see the same 1, 2, and 3 seconds. You can actually change this if you'd like over here, edit the what if variables. So maybe full second or two of speed improvement on average is a little too high for you. What you can do is actually go down and change that. Let's just talk about 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3 second change in performance for these pages. So if I'm gonna go ahead and click update there. And as you can see, with these minor speed improvements, there's still a significant amount of revenue that we have available. Looking down in this table here, we're able to see broken out by page kind of all of the information above. So we have our average load time, the optimal speed, page speed for the best sales, and we're looking at the time to interactive metric right now. And we're also looking at the 80th percentile of data here. Here we can also see the percent of traffic slower than the optimal speed. And then right next to that is the revenue opportunity. So I'm going to just go ahead and sort by the revenue opportunity. And it looks like our PDP page has, again, has that highest amount. And we can expect to make, 185K if we were to increase the page, the timed interactive by 0.3 seconds. So in these columns, if we actually sort by these, if we were to 0.3 seconds as our target, it looks like some of the top 3 options here are going to be our checkout page, the home page, and the PDP page. So to clarify, what this means is for the sessions that traversed the checkout page or the PDP page, for example, I'm going to actually open up, let me back up, and I'm going to open up, if you click this purple little trend icon over here, it's going to open up a few graphs specific to the PDP page. And so to finish my sentence just before, what we're looking at here is for all of the sessions that traversed the product detail page, the conversion rate, for example, when the page speed for timed interactive was 3.4 seconds, was 8.67%. So this is a histogram of sessions by page speed, and that page speed is timed interactive, and this is all for the product detail page. So as we can see, the conversion rate here, this orange line, is higher as we improve the page speed, going from 7.7 up to 8.7% over the course of a few seconds here. And again, this is the 80th percentile. All right, so what we're kind of aiming to do here is basically, without affecting the usability, functionality, or aesthetics of the web page, we basically want to speed up the page, which would ultimately shift this bubble of sessions over to the left, which in turn is going to increase conversions, provided the aesthetics, usability, or the functionality of the page hasn't changed significantly. This conversion rate is going to remain the same, and ultimately there will be more revenue. So below here, you see a few similar graphs. This is what if users are sped up to X seconds, And down here is what if users are sped up by X seconds. And you can kind of see how that number changes in the following graphs down below. So that's kind of a high-level summary of the revenue opportunity page. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the dashboard. So I'm just right over here on the dashboard, and as a matter of fact, this site overview dashboard, it's the pre-configured dashboard I was referring to earlier. This is going to be what you see when you first log into the Blue Triangle portal. And I'm going to just kind of walk you through what we're looking at here. But this is a great dashboard to have up to give you kind of a holistic site view of your site performance. Now, we're looking at the last 6 hours here, and you can also modify your refresh rate. This is minute by minute data in this graph here, in these graphs. You can change it from the auto refresh. You can change it from 2 up to 60 seconds. So this is showing us all of our performance metrics, including page views, over the last 6 hours by minute. So this is going to give you a great idea of when there's a performance issue, is it affecting revenue? So down here, of course, is revenue over time. We can see revenue, page views, and orders. One of the things you might want to be looking out for is if there's a spike in performance, slowness, does it have an impact on revenue? If so, it should certainly be prioritized. Over to the right here, we can see revenue, orders, and page hits, as well as onload and the number of JS errors, which is a sampled rate of data collection. All of this is broken out by device, by mobile, tablet, and desktop. So you can actually click these little device icons, and what that's going to do is update the rest of these widgets and filter it down just for the mobile data, for example, as I clicked here. And to revert, you can just unclick it. And down over here we have obviously a heat map of performance, and this is onload. You can change this to any of these metrics here, as well as conversion rate, revenue, timed interactive, and so on. But you can also click in to a particular region, and just like clicking one of these devices, it's going to update the rest of the widgets on this page here. And when you click into the region, you're able to see the individual sub-regions or states. In this example, we're looking at the United States. All right, so this is a great dashboard. The next one I'm going to show you is the KPI dashboard, or the key performance indicator widget that we have. So I already pulled it up here, but I'm going to just quickly walk through how I got this up. So if you add a widget to a new custom dashboard, this is going to be under, let's see, I think it's going to be under, yes, real user, line graph, and KPI date comparison here. All right, so this dashboard allows you to compare data from day to day or year to year, or even custom. So for example, if we want to compare two specific dates, like maybe today is Black Friday, you can pull this up and compare it to Black Friday last year and see how performance is trending compared to that baseline of last year. So of course we have visits, page views, onload, time to DOM interactive, the average order value, revenue, orders, and conversion rate. And you're able to see this. You're able to go back here to day-to-day. Right, so if we're looking at the day-to-day, you're able to change that bucket size. So maybe you want it a little more granular. Right now it's just hourly. Let's say we want to see this every 5 minutes. I can just hit apply there. And these lines are going to update, showing the buckets every 5 minutes. another very cool thing is we have last month and last year. You can also go into the day-to-day comparison, set up a custom one, and compare the previous X days or the same day of the week for the last X weeks. So maybe we want to look at, today is Thursday, right? So we want to look at how we're doing on Thursday for the last 4 weeks. So each Thursday in each of the last 4 weeks, that's going to be averaged and combined into one line as a baseline, and we'll be comparing that to the performance of today. So that's a little bit about the dashboards and this KPI widget. Certainly there's more custom widgets that you can add, but there's really a number of them that we don't have time to go through all of them today. But I would recommend checking out the available widgets here in the wizard and seeing if there's any more that you like. Alright, so now I'm going to go over to the alerts page. Certainly what we want to do is be notified as soon as any sort of outage or degradation or anything is not going right on the site. So I'm going to just kind of walk through an example here of how to set up one of these alerts, just to give you an idea of what are the possibilities and what kind of alerts are you going to be interested in creating for yourself. So of course we're going to hit create alert up in the top left. Just give it a name here, demo alert 2. It's going to go to me. You can apply your notification group or an SMS number as well as a Slack webhook. Include a graph in the alert of the issue. You can also customize the subject line of the email, or you can even customize the body of the email, or the message rather. Alright, so here's where we set the condition. So we're gonna be focusing on the real user data, and we're gonna be looking at the performance and business alert type. And with this, there's fixed value, percent change, and standard deviation threshold options. We're just going to do a fixed value, but we're going to go down and look at the business metrics, and we're going to choose conversion rate. So we're going to say if the conversion rate is below, let's say 2.5%, then send us a warning. Let's just say our average conversion rate is 3.5% or something like that. Now, if it is below 2%, that is critical, and we want to be notified of that immediately. Here you can set the schedule for your alert. Maybe it's only a temporary thing. The time zone, maybe you don't want to get notified on the weekend, but in this example, we're going to leave all these defaults alone. No maintenance windows. Far as an example for a maintenance window, this would be maybe you have low traffic overnight. You can set one up for that so your alert doesn't send you false positives. And then our evaluation window here is we're looking at the last 5 minutes, and our minimum sample size here is just saying make sure there's at least 100 page views for, sorry, in this case it would be sessions because we're talking about conversion rate. So we want to make sure there's at least 100 sessions during this 5 minutes to even send the alert. Otherwise, it's not a great enough sample size, so it would be some sort of invalid alert for us. And finally, you can set filters on these alerts. So maybe you're only focused on a particular campaign, maybe a particular A/B segment or a traffic medium, and you can really set any of these filter options that are available. So I'm going to just hit finish, and we're going to create that. check out my demo alert 2. Here we can see it in the list, and you'll be able to see what the measured level is here and just a minute or two, as well as the last measured if it ever expires, as well as any filter options like traffic segment and page name. And yeah, now it's active. So that's just kind of one use case of an alert. I would recommend you go through and check out, what permutations of the alert types and alert threshold types you can make, and really create the alerts that you want to see. All right, so we have about 5 minutes left or so. So I'm going to just take a minute and talk about our anomaly detection, and then I'm going to switch over and see if there's any questions I can help answer. So the anomaly detection is a widget that you can create. It's actually a fresh new thing on our new digital experience overview, which you can get to by clicking the blue triangle icon. I just opened it up over here in a new tab. So this is our anomalies and site opportunities widget, and you can actually add that to a custom dashboard, and I can show you how to do that real quick. If you go up to the plus widget and you go to the alerts and other, there's this option here for that widget. All right, so again, our system is, what we have going on here is some machine learning that's automatically scanning your data and detecting anomalies and bubbling them up here, ordering them by severity or criticality, and bubbling them up and showing you like, hey, it looks like we have an anomaly in synthetic for this domain app.link. So there was a percent change, and it'll explain in pretty good detail of what's going on here. This appears to be one of our function tracing measurements for another site, but this gives you an idea of what it would look like for your site in Blue Triangle. Let's say that maybe this is not as critical as as it is shown here. What you can do is go into the view details and either demote or the priority, or you can just dismiss it here and it'll go away. You can also just archive it right away here as well. All right, so that is all I wanted to cover. Thanks everyone for your time, and I really hope I was able to help the product managers out there get an idea of what's going to be helpful tools in Blue Triangle for doing your job. So I'm gonna pause for a couple of seconds now and check the chat and the questions tab and see if there's anything I can help answer. All right, so I see a couple of questions here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get started with those. So the first is, can I get notifications for these newly detected anomalies? Yeah, great question. The answer is yes. Let me show you how to do that quickly. I open up the portal again. So if you actually just go into your profile, there's a notification setting that all you got to do is check a box. So if I go in, edit my profile, you go down to the email notifications. What you want to do is just enable the system generated issues here. All right. Okay, another one. What is the gray area in the KPI dashboard graphs? Okay, so let me go back over to the KPI dashboard. Right, so this gray area, it represents, so you can actually see the little notation here. It's ongoing data processing. So with the example of something like conversion rate, obviously this is by session, and some sessions aren't going, we're not going to know whether a session is complete or not until, I think it's three hours is the max length of a session. So there's calculations that have to go, and ongoing, like it says, ongoing data processing. that needs to be done. So, in other words, the data is not quite finalized, although we do try to normalize what we do get. So that's kind of an explanation of that. All right. So I think that is all we have so far. Yes. Thanks everyone so much for your time. If you do have any more questions, we're happy to speak offline. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. You can reach us at any of the emails listed here. Of course, support is support@bluetriangle.com. And you can also submit a request or just a question in our help center at help.bluetriangle.com. And you can just get there by clicking the question mark icon inside of the Blue Triangle portal. For more information about our product trainings, like how to watch previous sessions or how to register for upcoming ones, be sure to check out our help center. Again, help.bluetriangle.com. And when you're there, there's a big button for product training that you can click and see that information. All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. Thanks again for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.